Hi, I'm Stacy of Southern Discourse, a down-to-earth Southern food and hospitality blog. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you one of my easiest strategies for getting a Southern comfort food meal on the table without a lot of fuss. So let's get started. Gone are the days of our moms and grandmothers cooking up an all-day home-style meal in the kitchen. Even if we have the time, I'm not sure that we've got the want to get it done. But none of that means that you have to give up on those favorite Southern family dishes that you love. I've got some simple strategies to help you make sure those special memories don't stop with you. My best strategy for getting started with comfort food, especially prepping for a meal on a busy night, is what I call balance. Think of it in terms of a big ask and a little ask. Which recipes ask a lot from you and which recipes ask just a little? You could also think about it as combining heavy lifts with easy lifts. Not every dish in a meal should be a big ask. We're not talking about making Thanksgiving dinner. We're just talking about getting food on the table that you can enjoy with your family. For instance, if I'm craving a cheesy, creamy side dish like scalloped potatoes, I know that's going to take some time. It's a big ask. So I'm quick to pair it with things that ask nothing of me at all, like a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store and a bagged salad. All the Sunday dinner feels without overcommitment. That might seem like a no-brainer, but it's actually a brilliant lifesaver that's helped hundreds of my readers create regular meals that they love for their families, and even given them the confidence to cook and invite friends over for dinner. Sometimes we trick ourselves into thinking that being a good cook means that we've got to do all the things and then some. But actually, being a good cook just means that we have to make food that our families will enjoy and spend time together over. And balance doesn't just apply to what you cook, but it also applies to cooking methods. If you've got a dish that's going to require a lot of attention, maybe chopping, prepping, that sort of thing, then pair it with a recipe that uses the crock pot, something that you can just throw in there and forget. The other good thing about this strategy is it's easy to use or combine with other strategies like freezer meals or meal prepping and all styles of eating. So it's a great complement to everything that you're going to learn this week at the What's for Dinner Summit. So let's dig into today's recipe, Southern Salmon Patties. It is a 5-star reader favorite on the website, and the most common response is a little guilt because they say it tastes better than their mom's, but we don't have to talk about that, right? It's a great example of comfort food because it's something we all grew up eating, and we've got great childhood memories attached to it, which means when we eat it, it gives us that great feeling of home that just can't be created by anything else. And the way we've improved on this recipe to make it fit with our busy schedules is we use these easy-to-use salmon pouches. Now, our moms and our grandmas used canned salmon, and you've got to clean that, you've got to pull out the bones and the little pieces of cartilage. This salmon comes already cleaned and ready to use just by opening the pouch. It is so simple. Also, this is a great option when there's no time to thaw beef or chicken or pork for dinner. Sometimes we get home and we've just forgotten to take that meat out to thaw. The other thing is we've got options to cook this recipe now. We can bake this recipe, we can even air fry it. Now today I'm going to fry it up in a skillet because that's the way I love it, and I just want to show you how easy it is when we do it together. So far we've got our salmon in the bowl, we've got a half a cup of mayonnaise, and we're going to add a little bit of green onion to this mix, some Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, a half teaspoon of my special all-purpose Creole seasoning, or you can use Old Bay if you like. We're going to do a half of lemon, put that juice right in there. Fish and lemon is just so good together, and it really enhances the flavor of the salmon patties. So we've mixed up all of those ingredients, and you'll notice the mixture's a little wet, but that's okay because we've got crackers that we need to crush up in them. We're going to take about 15 saltines, and we're going to crush them up into our mixture. And then we'll also take about 15 crackers. I've already gotten started and crushed them up into this bowl. So we're going to mix these crackers in. The mixture will still be wet, but the crackers will soak up a little bit. And then we're going to form our patties. All right, so these are our 15 crackers that we have crushed up in this bowl, and we're going to use these to coat or dredge our patties in. So we're going to come over here to our salmon mixture, and we're going to put about a forkful or two in the palms of our hands. Now you can use a glove if you don't like how this feels, but you don't have to as long as you wash your hands. So we're just going to form a little patty or croquette right there in the palm of your hand. And we're going to take it over to the crushed crackers, and we're going to coat it. Kind of reform it a little bit, and there you have your croquette or your salmon patty. And we're just going to repeat this process until we empty out the bowl. I'm going to show you how to fry these salmon patties. Like I said earlier, you can cook them in the air fryer. You can even bake them if that fits better with your diet. I just love them fried. I've got about a ½ inch of cooking oil heated up. I'm going to lay the croquettes right in the oil. And they get nice and crisp on the outside, and they stay so tender on the inside. Now as our patties get nice and golden brown, I'm going to lay them over here on the sheet pan that I've lined with a paper towel and a drying rack. And this will just help the cooking oil drain away from the patties and keep the patties from sitting in the oil on a paper towel. Now that I've got you here, let's finish up with a little bit of macaroni and cheese. Now, Southern macaroni and cheese is always baked, but who's got time for that? We've already made our salmon patties, so let's make this an easy lift by doing a stovetop mac and cheese. We're going to start with a little butter, and then we're going to add some flour. And we're just going to whisk that flour in until it's nice and smooth. Then we'll add a little chicken broth. Now you could use a boxed mac and cheese if you wanted to, but making your own mac and cheese on the stovetop really is easy. See that thicken up here? This is going to help your sauce be nice and thick. This is what we call making a roux. We're going to turn down our heat a little bit, and then we're going to add about 2 cups of half and half. And we're just going to keep whisking until it's all smooth and there are no lumps left. So I've got about 2 ounces of cream cheese. And we're going to whisk until that's melted. Now, each time we're whisking, it's only taking about 30 seconds to incorporate the ingredients. So this is not a long process for a stovetop mac and cheese. All right, while that cream cheese is melting, I'm just going to take a break from the whisking, and I'm going to grate some of this cheddar. Now, I'll call this the cheese tax. Anytime you want to make a really good cheese dish, you're going to have to grate your own cheese to get that melt that you crave. So let's add in that cheddar right into the sauce, and we're going to repeat. Whisk until it's melted. And then you gotta add the flavor. So we've got ground mustard, we have some ground black pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. Now here's some pasta that I cooked up earlier in the week because I knew I was gonna make mac and cheese. You can always pre-cook your pasta and just store it in the fridge in a zip-top bag if you like. But you get that pasta in there and you coat it with that cheese sauce. Look at how creamy that is. Pairing this with the salmon patties, let's talk about comfort food heaven. This is everything you're gonna want and more. All right, so in the time that we've been on this, workshop today, we have made a complete Southern meal that your family is going to love. We've chopped our salad. We made some creamy home-style mac and cheese on the stovetop. And let's not forget those crispy, crunchy salmon patties. This is a childhood memory that we all love, and now your family can enjoy it too. My challenge for you this month is to embrace the balance method. Make it work with your schedule. Incorporate it with other meal planning strategies that you like, and aim to get at least one comfort food meal a week on the table and make some memories with your family. To learn more about my simple strategies for getting great Southern meals on the table without a lot of fuss, use the subscription box below to join the conversation at Southern Discourse. Every week I share 2 meal plans, all of the recipes, plus a dessert, breakfast, and snack recipe, so you'll have something to eat every time you get hungry. You get access to all of my strategies so that you can plan meals like a pro too. You also get a front row seat to my series, Dinner with Friends, where we take everything that we learn about getting an easy meal on the table and invite 2 to 3 friends over. There's recipes, a timeline for getting it all done, plus shoppable links so that you can set your table. From the kitchen to the table, food is more than a recipe, it's a lifestyle we live together. And I can't wait to gather around the table with you.